Welcome to Hypotecera AI. This is made for the Raspberry Pi 5. It is a 128 gigabyte image. I believe there's also a 256 and 512 gigabyte image as well. I downloaded this a couple of months ago and finally I'm just now getting around to testing it out here on the channel. So unfortunately, I don't remember exactly where I downloaded it from. I think it was on a link from another YouTuber. And I believe this is made by a gentleman named Mini Cake. Made this nice, impressive image. But the one thing that really caught my attention was the nice, impressive artwork. This is using Batocera version 38 or 39, I do believe. And it just really caught my attention with all the graphical effects and everything that it does have to offer. Now, as far as performance, it will establish and pretty much use what you guys have seen as far as Batocera has in the past. I can tell you that Nintendo still operates or runs the same way. There is no PlayStation 2 interface or front end selection as far as I'm concerned in regards to this, but it's pretty much a really good looking image if you guys want something for your Raspberry Pi 5. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so when you first boot this up, you will get a nice, impressive loading screen. I mean, this thing is just eye-appealing. It's nothing more than just eye candy when you boot it up. In fact, you know, when I usually look at images and things that I want to show off here on the channel, you know, a lot of stuff is just really repetitive. But again, this really caught my eye. It has that nice flair for technology. The light purple, the vibrant colors, gives you that feeling of what's the name of that one game? Cyberpunk 2077 really had a lot of that feel to it, plus some of the stuff with Grand Theft Auto included in here as well. Really dungy a little bit, but again, it's really light, vibrant. You have your purple, blue, light colors. Female-oriented theme here. This will really blend in nicely with an arcade cabinet. So you have your Atari, you have Elfi Denshi, you have your wheel games here, you have your retro achievements. Favorites, and you have your list of arcade games. Just kind of scrolling through some of these. These will have all of your basic systems if you guys really haven't followed along with some of the previous videos as far as the Raspberry Pi 5 performance. The Pi 5 can emulate all the way up to PlayStation 2 pretty much without any issues. However, there, you know, with some games with PlayStation 2, with Wii and whatnot, you will have your hiccups and whatnot. Regarding depending upon what kind of games you are using. But here we have some 007 James Bond, and one of the things that this image does include that I haven't seen on some of the other ones has been open board. So you do have your open board working on here, which is a nice interface. You have some pinball games as well, gives you a nice little variety of games to pick through. You have your beat 'em up, you have your action section here, you have 4-player games. You got 2-player games that are nicely sectioned. We have our Sinclair. And, you know, a lot of these games here obviously will run on your Pi 4 or anything like that. So there's no need to specifically go out and get a Raspberry Pi 5 specifically to run some of these. We have another name that's synonymous in the retro gaming community. We have Rick Dangerous. So I believe he incorporated some of his stuff here. We have Half-Life. This is a PC-based game. Wonder Swan Color, Wonder Swan. We have some Wii games, and I did get a chance to run some of this. This one runs okay. It still has the same choppiness or lag built-in effect in this image where it will stutter or hiccup or pause when you're in the middle of gameplay quite a lot. So it is running pretty much at its own defaulted theme. I mean, however, they do have Wii enabled here, but most of the games, or even some of them, will hiccup every now and then. I love this old background. This really stands out, really kind of captivates the eye. We got our Virtual Boy here. We got some used box. Let's see, I'm not sure what this is. Again, I definitely think that the Pi 5 is overkill for a lot of these games, but it is something a little different. Supervision, we got Super Graphics X, Super Nintendo games, Looks like here we got another fully loaded image with all the everything scraped and video artwork included, so you don't have to do that. And this is pretty much ready to use right out of the box. Now I am aware that Batocera has released a new update called Batocera 40, so this one may be 1 or 2 versions behind, but you know, it's a nice impressive image in case you're just looking for something that'll just get you up and running. We have Sufamo Turbo, Solaris, Sharp X68000. We have our Sega SG 1000 as well. Sega Mega CD. We got some games in here. We got our Batman Returns, Cadillac and Dinosaurs, Echo the Dolphin. This is nice and put together. We got some other artwork. Everything here looks nicely scraped. Prince of Persia, Sega Saturn. And I want to see if we have... We all know that the Pi 5 can handle pretty much now with Sega Saturn. That was an issue on the Pi 4. Alright, so it looks like he kind of kept this down to a minimal. I was looking to see if Die Hard the Arcade was in here. That was one of the games that was very difficult to emulate even on the Raspberry Pi 4. But we have a nice little list here compiled for everyone. We have Nintendo Stale of You, Samacoop, Doom, Pokemon Mini, PSP, PlayStation. Got some basic PlayStation games in here. PC Engine, CD-ROM 2, PC Engine, Open Board. In fact, this is the list of the Open Board games that I was telling you guys about. Got some nice here. In fact, I was playing Aliens vs. Predators, so great gameplay on that. I know that RetroPie is going to eventually include that as well, but you guys can get that here. Nintendo NES, Nintendo DS, Nintendo 64. And if things are optimized correctly, all the Nintendo games can be properly associated with some of the emulators, which will give you the best emulation capabilities. Neo Geo. We have a number of Neo Geo games in here. And we have Naomi 2, Naomi, and Sega Model 3 as well. Now typically with Sega Model 3 games, you will have to set up your controller or create an INI file for most of those to work. Just kind of going through a list of the games in here. We have Daytona 2 USA. We got Virtual On, Virtual Striker 2. And in fact, while we're in here, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay. I want to quickly see if any of these controls are set up. Alright, so we got a nice little, I wouldn't say full screen layout, but it's almost there. I know with Sega Model 3, those are some of the video adjustments that you would typically need to make. And we are able to hit the start button, so let's see if we can actually get into some gameplay. And I know with some of these controllers too, with the Sega Model 3, you can almost import some of your previous settings over from your PC and get up and running, but it looks like we got a little bit of slowdown here. All right, let's see. It looks like the buttons are working. And let's see if we can. All right, looks like there's a little bit of slowdown here. All right, the controls are working. I am able to move. They are responding. I can navigate, move around. All right, so it looks like some of the controls are working. It doesn't look like I'm able to accelerate with any one of these. Let's see, I think I just saw the brake. So if I have the brake, I should have some gas to it. Looks like they are. Oh, there we go. Let me see. Do I have to hold in on the joystick? Ah, there we go. I have to hold up on the joystick in order to move. All right, so the controls are pretty much kind of set up for you. However, there's a little bit of slowdown here. So at any rate, just wanted to kind of check that out and see what that was available. But, you know, overall, I really like this image just in terms of the looks, the weight. You know, there's plenty of options out there right now with the Raspberry Pi 5. I know it hasn't even been a year yet. We're going on, what, 6, maybe 7 months now. We're now in April. And with the Raspberry Pi 5, it came out, or was announced in you know, around October or so. So we're making some headway to kind of get enough images and builds, you know, pretty much out there. But I don't know this individual, I don't know the guy, but he definitely put a lot of time and work in to make sure that this was definitely eye appealing. Definitely kind of caught my attention. And when you first boot this up, the language is, I definitely believe it's in France. I definitely want to say, so when I turned this on, I had to go into the settings here and convert it over to English. You could go right here. Unfortunately, it was enough for me to really interpret enough to transfer it over into my language. And if you're not familiar with it, you could use like, let's say Google Translator or something on your phone to kind of look at the screen and then transfer the language over into your own native language. But you have all of your standard Batocera set up here. Got your storage device. You could also boot this from an SD card. I have this right now booted on a Samsung USB drive. And then, of course, you can add in an external hard drive too for additional ROMs. So you don't have to put everything directly on your SD card. You can also scrape your ROMs. You got your basic network settings here. You have your game settings as well. And if this is based on let's say Batocera 38, 39, whatever the case might be, this should be light gun compatible. So if you have a Senden AE or Gun 4 IR or a Dolphin Bar Wii remote, all of those should be plug and play compatible. Now I do know with some of the emulators you do need to still kind of go through there and kind of set up everything yourself. But you know, pretty much a lot of people pick Batocera or Hypotecera in this case for those specific reasons. But overall, just wanted to quickly kind of go over this. We're not going to do a lot of gameplay here on the channel. I can pretty much tell you that most of these games, like your Neo Geos, Sega Naomi's, Naomi 2, Sega Model, I'm sorry, not Sega Model, but Sega Mega Drive, all your basic systems that you guys are familiar with from the Raspberry Pi 4 will run flawlessly without any type of tweaks, modifications. But you know, it's nice that they really included this. Unfortunately, there's no PlayStation 2 on there, or Wii still kind of stutters or hiccups in most cases. But again, if you are looking for something that captures your eye with some nice colors, nice artwork, running Batocera, then you know, you should definitely pretty much kind of check this out. But if you are looking to download this, I think I found it on the gentleman's YouTube channel called Mini Cake. But what I will do for you is, again, I didn't make this, I don't have anything else to do with it. This is just something that wanted to check it out. But I will provide a link in my Facebook group on Kiodiekin Hobbies, so you guys could take a look at the file section on there if you want to download it, or you could Google it, see if you can also find another link to download it. You go ahead and do it that way if you don't have Facebook, and download it that way. But it is a torrent file, and I definitely think this is worth checking out. So with that being said, guys, I will check you guys out later. Peace out. This is Kiodiekin. Have a great day. Bye-bye.